Hello everyone, David A. Cox here with Tech Talk America, and today we are talking about the brand new 2016 MacBook Pro. This is of course the first MacBook Pro with optional TouchID and Touchbar in upgraded models. There's also a massive trackpad, headphone jack, and USB Type-C ports. After a few weeks of using it, I have to say that so far it has not been as difficult to transition as I'd thought, considering yours truly does own just a couple of external devices. Now, one accessory I would recommend that you consider checking out is the HooToo USB Type-C hub. These are great as far as connecting you to your other devices that have USB 3.0, HDMI, and even gives you back an SD card slot. Links to that and anything else I may end up mentioning in the description of the video. First thing you'll notice when you open up the new MacBook Pro is how huge this trackpad is. I mean, that is literally half the size of my hand, and that's on the 13-inch model. No small hand jokes, folks. It's great, but I found that I only tend to use a small portion of it. For those of you out there who may be worried about your palms accidentally setting it off, don't worry, the palm technology is working like a charm. The keys are Apple's new minimalist butterfly keys, which are very low profile, but unlike the MacBook, these are much easier to type on. The only downside is they are also significantly louder, which could be a pain in a work environment. TouchID is a new feature which will allow you to unlock your Mac, pay for purchases in the App Store, or through Apple Pay on the web if you use Safari as your main browser. I'm still a Chrome guy, so I don't benefit much from this feature. But let's get to what most of you probably want to know about more than anything, the Touch Bar. The Touch Bar is an interesting new feature which, in order to get, you are going to be immediately paying $300 more than the MacBook Pro, which does not come with this feature. You can customize it for each app by going into the View menu and then tapping Customize Touch Bar. This is usually the last option under the View menu. Some apps still have yet to add integration, but we suspect that we'll see more of these in future updates. So, is it worth it? In my opinion, yes. But not for the reason that you might think. I have found that everything that I can do with the Touch Bar, I can do just as easily on my Mac through traditional hotkeys. Is it fancier? Okay. Is it better? No. But that being said, the reason why you should go with the Touch Bar over the base model is processor. For $300, you're going from a 2 GHz processor to a 2.9. You're also getting a better graphics card. So yeah, for those two reasons alone, it's worth it. One of the things you'll find with the upgraded MacBook Pros is that the vents are on the side of the bottom case. This is used to help with cooling, but it's not so great when you consider that if you should accidentally set your Mac on top of a wet surface, there is now easier access for liquid to get into it. So for that reason alone, if you do want to get a warranty, you might want to consider going with something other than AppleCare. Now granted, this does mean that if you do this, you will lose access to Apple's phone support after the first 90 days, so do choose wisely. If you would like to consider doing this though, I will provide you with all of the information and links to what I recommend in the description of this video. There are two problems that I have with the MacBook Pro, one more than the other. The first is, you do have to admit, it is kind of strange that you can buy a brand new iPhone 7, a brand new iPad Pro, and you can't plug it into a brand new MacBook Pro. And frankly, I do feel like Apple should be sending anyone who has bought any of these devices in the last 9 months a free USB Type-C to Lightning cable. They're not, so if you want one, you know where to go to get it. But that being said, you can of course transfer anything from your iPhone or your iPad to your Mac through AirDrop. But when you take a look at the bigger picture here, this move to entirely USB Type-C does make sense. It is a port that is capable of carrying data, power, and 4K quality video all at the same time. I feel like this is one of those temporary inconveniences which will eventually make much more sense in time. The bigger problem here, though, is the battery. Despite Apple's claims of a 10-hour battery life, my experience has been very different. Even just in doing average web browsing and answering emails, I find that I'm getting closer to 6 hours of battery life before being forced to recharge. One of the benefits to USB Type-C charging is that now you can charge through something as simple as a power bank. It won't charge at the same rate, but even if this only slows down how fast your battery drains, it is kind of nice to not have to buy an $80 charger when you accidentally leave it at home. When it comes to screen resolution, this screen is brilliant and this video will not do it justice. For those of you out there who love photography and videography, you will fall in love with this screen. Sound on the new MacBook Pro is only okay. If you want better sound, you should really consider checking out some Bluetooth headphones or speakers. Recommendations below. At just a little bit over £3 for the 13-inch model and £4 for the 15-inch model, either computer is very easy to carry around, especially when you consider how much processing power this thing has. One piece of advice that I'd like to give you if you should buy it is where to buy it. For example, did you know that unless you live in New York State and possibly a few other selective states now, if you buy your Mac through the website bhphotovideo.com, you can get it tax-free any day of the year? Seriously, go check it out. So there you have it, folks. That is the brand new MacBook Pro. I hope you enjoyed this review. Leave us your comments below. Hit that little like button. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can find out when we come out with new content. This is David A. Cox with Tech Talk America. Class dismissed.